Problem solving is one of the most important skills for a tour guide, and today we will talk about how to deal with a problem. From my perspective and all the experience I have accumulated, we need to follow the next steps. First, we all know the sentence, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. I mean, we need to prepare for all the obstacles that we may encounter through on our tour. Let's think about the problems you have met or you haven't met but you can imagine. And let me show you a very effective way I often do. Learn from the pain. Go to TripAdvisor of our company and choose all 3 to 4-star reviews and read all of them. That is the situation and obstacles that other guys have met in a real conversation, in a real situation. So you will know more about the problems. So the second step is like think about the solution if you meet that situation in a real life. I divide problems into 2 kinds. The first is like the problems that hasn't happened yet, but you prepare to explain for a customer so they can know about that before the tour. Let me show you some examples so you can understand it well. The train doesn't come in the morning tour, right? So you need to talk about that before we start. It's like you can give them some basic information about on the destination you will go in the tour. If they are interested in train street, they will ask you like, will the train pass by? And you can explain for them there is no train in the morning tour. But if they are insist on seeing the train, so you can change the destination. It's like you can eat first and then go to the train street later to make them happier. So that is a way to avoid all the disappointment that you can make in a tour by notifying for all of them before that. The problem, the jeep condition is not good. The solution is introducing about the jeep condition right after you pick up all of the customers, so they can know about that. In case something bad happen later, they won't be too disappointed because they know about that before. That is my method. Okay guys, let me introduce to you some information about the Jeep. This Jeep was manufactured by Russia in 1973, so it means it's 50 years old right now. Pretty old, right? And in the war, Russia sent lots of Jeeps like that to support the war in Vietnam. And after the war, the military sold it for the old people who collected it to keep memory. And the tour agency like us bought it from the old people. But you know, part of vintage things, sometimes it has problems. So my boss always tell me that the money we use to fix it is more than the money we use to buy it. And sometimes if it has some problems, the tourists can always tell me like, oh, send back to Russia, send it back. I want you, but they gave us a few years ago, and I'm afraid that I can be fired by my boss, so I don't dare to do that. In one of my tours, the Jeep got some problems and it didn't run, and all the customers had to get off to push the Jeep, and then it took about 20 minutes in a quite a hot day to change the Jeep. But my customer accepted it very naturally, and they didn't show any disappointment because they know about that before. I always tell all the customers about the Jeep condition before, and I still got 3 reviews, 5-star reviews on that tour out of 5 customers. And the other kind of problem is like something that actually happened in your tour. So maybe they don't like your tour, maybe something bad happened with them in the tour, so they won't be satisfied. Remember, the key point is always a good attitude, taking all responsibilities and explaining for them with kindness and patience. And the grammar can be, I have to say sorry for blah blah blah, plus if I were you, I had the same feeling. That is a way to, to show them that you put yourself in their shoes, and then you can explain for them with a good attitude. Example here. The problem is like the customer don't satisfy 100% in the tour. In one of my tours, I have like 2 customers, husband and wife. Her husband really liked all the experience, but the wife she told me that she feel like the local market is too confronting to her. It's like it's hard to see the people killing a live chicken, a live duck in front of her like that. And first I want to say sorry about that, and then I told her like if I were her, haven't seen something like that before, I had the same feelings. And the last I explain for them about the concept about tour one more time. I can understand your feeling, but I want to tell you one more time about the concept of our tour. It's like I always said, like in the first destination, that into the tour we not only want to take you to some highlight destination, but also want to dig deeper into the real life of Hanoi people. So you can we expose you on the good, the bad, and the weird part of Hanoi City. It is what it is. Some part you like, some part you don't like, but it's our culture. So I want you, a little bit open to see that. And after that, the wife like, oh yeah, I can understand you. You delivered very well. It's just a little bit overwhelmed for me, but it's not anybody's fault. It's something like that. She's still happy. And she still gave me a 5-star review. And the last step is like you have to pay attention to see the reaction after you solve the problems. If they still happy, it's okay, it's good. But if you're not happy, you have to make them let it out, talk more about their feeling, and try to fix it until it's happy. And now it's time to summarize on what I said. That is my tip, and I hope it helps.